y'all. Welcome back to my channel. I'm glad you're back. And we've got stories to tell. We sure do. In this video, we're going to be kind of jumping into the arena of award giving, crowd control, and starting up camps for the youngins. Yeah, and I do love to take time to really appreciate those wonderful things that people do when they use their platform for good and use their influence for good and giving back. So this is going to be a little bit of a homage paid to that, if I can get that out. But I am glad that you are here. So definitely sit back, relax. I want to know your thoughts as we go through this sharing of stories. And we're going to start off with none other than Miss Coi Leray, who I actually really do like. I like her music, because girls are players too. And I love that. I love that. So let's get into something because she's doing some good stuff around here. So let's go ahead and dive right on in. All right, so sources from people basically are sharing that Coi Leray says she's super excited to launch Camp Courage Foundation to empower and connect youth. And this is an exclusive interview for people on this. And I think this is great. So let's go ahead and get in. It's something I've wanted to do for a long time, the Grammy-nominated hitmaker tells people of launching her new nonprofit in her New Jersey hometown. Coi Leray is giving back to her hometown in a major way. And look, you cannot be mad at that, right? So now on Monday, apparently on July 1st, the Grammy-nominated Players Artist announced the launch of Camp Courage Foundation, her new profit organization dedicated to empowering and connecting individuals of all ages in inner cities. Per a press release shared exclusively with People, the philanthropic initiative was launched in Coi's Patterson, New Jersey hometown amid her National Magic Hour tour with headliner and R&B singer Jhené Aiko. I hope I'm saying that right. The double platinum star made a stop at the Great Falls Youth Center on July 1st to celebrate her Camp Courage launch, as her organization's ultimate goal is to create a nurturing and exclusive environment where youth can collaborate, support one another, and build lasting relationships to give them skills and opportunity to reach their full potential. I feel like I've just stepped back in time because this is a lot of stuff that we were doing in our time frame of growing up, and I appreciate this. It's a way of getting the kids together and to be able to empower each other, to empower themselves, to be the better versions of themselves. I love this. Let's keep going. That's why I started my Camp Courage World Foundation, Leray tells people in a statement. I'm super excited to launch that at the top of 2024. It's something I've wanted to do for a long time. I finally thought of an amazing name for it, and I am excited. She adds, we're focusing on mental health because I feel like that's something that I've dealt with my entire life, my childhood growing up, and now there's so many things that I do that I'm pretty sure that these girls would want to know and learn. And that's what we're talking about, passing on the wisdom to the younger ones, right? The ones coming up, to the ones who may have not gone where you already been. I love that. We're not trying to compete. We're trying to make sure that everybody has a space and feels the space that they can walk in, because that's ordained to them by birth. The latest youth center event combined Leray's love for healthy eating with her mission to promote independence and nutrition through a special cooking class. Inspired by her Cooking with Coi YouTube show and now viral videos where she cooks on the side of the road during tour stops. Well, that's quite ingenious. Alongside 30 at-risk elementary and middle school youth from her hometown, the No More Parties recording artist participated in a transformative culinary workshop where she taught the youngsters how to turn simple ingredients into delicious and quick home-cooked meals, including root beer floats and nachos. In addition to learning Leray's cool cooking tips, each youth participated also received generous Adidas gifts, courtesy of the music sensation, to motivate them to lead healthier lifestyles. I love that. Leray's nonprofit launch comes just before she's set to hit the stage at Brooklyn's Barclays Center on July 1st, where she'll once again open up for Ayako. The Billboard charting hitmaker is on tour with the Sativa songstress through August 22nd, where they'll wrap up in Columbus, Ohio. Most recently, Leray dropped her Lemon Cars EP on May 24th, and the project features her single of the same name. She touched on the project's arrival last month in an Instagram post displaying its cover artwork and track list. Never dumb yourself down to lift anyone up. Amen to that. Be okay with walking away from whatever isn't helping you grow. Amen to that. And we can't change anyone but ourselves, so be very self-aware and focus on you. She wrote in the post caption at the time, have more fun, invest in yourself, pray, enjoy, and see you on tour. I love it. And see, like I said, I really like Coi. I think she is great. She's a great addition to the music scene. I'll tell you what, she really is. And I enjoy, anything that allows for connection to artists that have come before you, like her connection with Busta Rhymes. I'm here for it because appreciation is the most flattering sense of things, not copying, appreciation, and remembering that you are able to hit the steps because of those before you that helped pave that way for you. So I'm all about that. And that's what I like about her. And this right here, this foundation, this camp she's doing is great. I mean, honestly, it's great. I wish we would see and more of these, amongst many folks doing them all over the country, because it is definitely needed. And I myself worked at a youth center at a time or two ago, and it is a wonderful thing to really see kids' minds open to new activities and things to do, and just having someone take the time to show them different things. I think the element of cooking skills was really phenomenal and fantastic to show that they can do things for themselves as well that can help and be a good thing for them, because you never know the circumstances in which people are raised in. Not everybody has the happy-go-lucky family situation, and so for her to take the time to give back in these ways, I think is incredibly meaningful. And I'm, for one, appreciative of this situation. So therefore, I wanted to put it on my platform and share about it, because I think it's good. We share the messy, we should be sharing the good as well. And this is definitely for the good. If you are going on her tour, let me know down in the comment section. I think that's great if you are. And let me know your thoughts. Do you have any of these kind of programs in your area? Have you thought about starting one of these type of programs for your area? I mean, there's a lot of information you can get in order to get started on something like this. If you feel that you think this would be really good for where you are in your community. I think anything based on helping ourselves in a way that brings us together is just the icing on the cake. So I'm really say kudos to Coi Leray. I appreciate what she's doing. I think it's great. I think it's also great that we know about it. I know sometimes, some things you may not get the information of, but the fact that she's sharing it, I think is great. And I think that, there's a lot of example there that could be followed and led into other type of programs across the nation. So good on Coi. I'm happy for her. I hope that the tour is going well for her and that she is continually successful, because we need more of the greatness in this world. So definitely appreciate that. So, definitely also throw your congratulations down there for her in the comment section too, because you never know who might see the video. All right, so we are going to move on to, someone who I just mentioned that was connected to Coi Leray. I think that Busta Rhymes is basically a godfather to her, if I'm not mistaken, which I think is just incredibly wonderful, because Busta Rhymes, he's that guy. He really has. He always has been. Apparently there was a little bit of controversy that went on this past weekend, I believe it was. And complex.com is talking all about it. Now, before we jump into this, because this is about him providing crowd control, if you will, but not in the way that you think. Basically, what he was sharing is about the fact that we need to put our phones down. Now, I have to agree. I mean, there's different reasons for why this probably does happen. I don't necessarily think that it's any reason to think that it's something negative, because at the end of the day, why would you pay money to go see someone you don't want to see? But there was a time where when you went to concerts and shows, you weren't able to bring your cameras or phones with cameras, and you weren't able to take the footage. So it really did force you to although this wasn't the reason, but the consequence of that was to force you to be involved and get into the show. And, energy begets energy, and people feed off of energy. And that includes the celebrities that are sitting on the stage. So it must be quite troubling, especially for artists who've been doing this in the game for a long time, to go to a concert where there's crowds of people just screaming and hollering, having a great time, dancing and all that kind of stuff, to seeing this. Okay, insert my phone. This. Yeah, okay. Now, some may say, look, I'm trying to get the moment. I want to keep this moment. And I can understand that aspect of it. There's others who may even want to just do content creation for it. Fine. Want to add it to their channels to share with other people. Fine. There could be a multitude of reasons of doing that. And one, I think, would probably more or less to capture the memories. But if you're there, do you have to capture the entire memory on the phone? I don't know. Maybe you do. I don't know. I think that something is amiss when you're doing that, because at the end of the day, you must be watching it on TV. At least that's how I felt when I went to a Janet Jackson concert a few years ago. And I found myself, just recording little bits, because I thought it was so cool to be able to have this to look on when I got home and for time to come. And then after I'm watching her and I'm looking at my phone and I'm watching her, and here's the Jumbotron, and I'm like, I'm literally watching this concert in my phone. I could be at home watching this. So I promptly just put my phone away and I just got back into the concert. I took enough footage. It was good. It was fine. I wasn't trying to make no motion picture video out of it. So at the end of the day, the memories are always going to be there as well. But I do have a few, photos and video taking. And that was enough, because the rest I was able to experience and get into. So you tell me your thoughts on that. What do you think? Do you think that a lot of the issue when it comes to the phone everywhere in a concert, does that mean anything other than capturing moments or capturing content? Which one is it? Because personally, some people will have high criticism for crowds like that, where they feel like, well, the crowd's not really into it. And I don't know if that's necessarily true. Like, I literally was sitting in a concert recently, and the person next to me, like, there's plenty of people around me who were all about the concert, okay? And I think the person next to me was also about it as well. But she also was really, really focused on getting this footage for whatever she wanted, memories or whatnot. But see, it prevents her from really getting into the singing and the dancing of it all and all the entertainment of it all, because she's probably concerned that the stabilizer on her phone is not adequate enough to where she can do all of that and the footage still not do this. And that's probably another problem for why people are sitting here stiff like this, because any sudden move from lots of phones, the stabilizing is not that great. Even if you think you do have a good one, it's not. So that being said, let's get into the story here, because I thought it was kind of funny. Plus, there was an individual who actually had said that they went to this, or at this concert. I think this was at the Essence Award, not award, but the Essence Festival that goes on every year. They said they were there, and it really wasn't like that. He wasn't screaming and hollering. He was just trying to, in his boisterous way and his fun way that he does, trying to get people to, kind of let go of the phones and get into the music. So let's go ahead and get into this article real quick. All right. So it is said again, complex.com says Busta Rhymes curses out Essence Fest crowd for sitting down. Now, curses out and saying curse words could be two different things. And I think it's more along the line, he may have said some curse words, but didn't really curse out the crowd. I tell you. Anyways, they're saying does that because the crowd was basically sitting down and being on their phones. And he said, let's get back to interacting like humans. Now, I will tell you what, I think that's definitely a statement I would like to see across the board for other things. Let's get back to interacting like humans. Okay. Anyways, let's go on. The 30th Essence Festival of Culture got off to a rocky start with Busta Rhymes blasting the New Orleans crowd for being disengaged. Busta Rhymes was visibly upset during the opening night of the 30th Essence Festival of Culture. Performing at New Orleans Caesars Superdome on Friday, July 5th, the veteran rapper halted his set to chastise the crowd for their inattentiveness. Mm-hmm. All right. Now, I'm not going to say the cuss words, but basically he's like, hey, yo, damn it. Put them camera phones to, he says, get those camera phones to, let's get back to interacting like humans. Put them weird devices down, Busta shouted as seen in the video from the live stream concert below. I ain't from that era. then them things don't control the soul. Skip your phone. Insert any word that you think that applies. All right, let's keep going. To surprise of attendees and viewers, he threatened, "I will point every last one of y'all out until y'all butts are up." Now, come on, threatened. Okay. That's a big word. I mean, I guess in a sense, if you say you're going to do something, that could be considered as a threat. But let's not pretend that is not different than a real threat. Calling you out for doing something that is unnecessary is not really a threat. Maybe it's a promise. Anyways, 33 years of doing this. Gosh, Buster's been around for a while. I love it. Doing this stuff, and I ain't used to anyone sitting down at my show. And I would have to agree, because look, I've never been to Busta Rhymes show, but I've seen the videos and I've seen the performances on TV, and that man would be jumping up and down and dun 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 and all of that. I mean, we can go on and on and on and on and on. I can't think of all the words right now, but I mean, I'm sure he's a good time. It's a show. Everybody's having a good time. And so, yeah, for him, it probably was really hard to see that. It's like, wait a minute, what are you talking about? I know my stuff is good. I've been around too long, so I know it's good. So what's y'all's problem? So yeah, I think a lot of that's where it's coming from. And probably because he hasn't been out in a while doing his touring, things are just different now. That doesn't mean that they're good. It just means they're different. He says, basically, I don't give a you know what, all age groups, get your behind up, Busta added. I don't blame him. Everybody. So what he's saying is, this ain't no generational thing. I don't give a damn. Or this generational thing is a butt whoop is going to go across the board. Okay. All y'all getting up. Everybody could stand to get up and hang out and have some fun. And boy, could we ever. It might solve a lot of other things if that was happening more often. But I digress. The rapper continued calling out individual attendees and sections of the venue, which I'm pretty sure nobody's feelings were completely hurt. So, okay, calling out, albeit smiling while doing so. Sometimes it's about the delivery, not what you say, right? Busta then explained that he had zero tolerance for this nonsense energy due to it being his first time performing at the festival. Oh, yeah, sure. Make me feel like we at home, he concluded. I agree with that. I mean, people should, they're coming into your house, regardless if you're paying for it or not, they're coming to give you a show. You should at least be able to give them the energy that you are happy to be there, because they don't have to be there. So Busta's speech echoes Method Man, if you heard about this, who performed alongside Redman, which I'm so glad to see he's back out, and I'm so glad they're back out to get rapping, doing whatever they do, because the two is a dynamic duo that should never ever go away. Now they were at the Hot 97 Summer Jam last month. If you guys were not aware of that, that's a big event that takes place, I believe, every year. But they swore off returning due to the generation gap. Not our crowd at all, he commented on Hot 97 Instagram post following the performance. Thanks again, New York and the whole tri-state that showed up to the event. And please. Plus Pete and Ebro. I got love for you guys, but never again. At this point, the generation gap is just too wide for me. Never, hashtag, never coming back. Busta's fans can catch the MC as his opener for Missy Elliott's Out of This World tour, which continues until late August because everybody is outside, and I love it. So I would love to know your thoughts about that. Do you think that Busta was too harsh about it? Do you think that people are getting too infatuated with their phones and missing out on the actual moments that are happening in front of them? I mean, yes, there's screen time everywhere. You're looking at me on screen time if you're watching this video, right? And a time and a place for everything. So at the end of the day, when you're at a concert, that's the time for you to be able to kind of get involved and, just have that fun. And I definitely would feel that the energy that the crowd gives, it's going to resemble the energy that you see on stage too, right? Because if someone feels we're not enjoying what they're doing, then they're going to feel sitting and doing it. Even if you may say, oh, well, no, I'm actually having a good time here. If you don't show your appreciation by way of showing excitement or dancing or just being engaged with them, then how else would they know, right? I mean, this whole concept of too cool for school is quite annoying. It was annoying in times before, and it still is. And again, maybe some individuals, like they said, we're trying to capture moments here. We want to keep these moments for life. Or maybe if we do a little bit more living in the moments, you can still keep your memory just as fresh as you would if you felt the need to actually record everything from the top to the bottom. So, I mean, there's definitely a conversation for both sides. I'd love to know your thoughts. The generation gap thing always does get popped up. The bottom line is, just because I was not around for maybe music that my parents or grandparents enjoyed at times, doesn't mean that I can't have an appreciation for it and not feel just as invigorated as they may have been at the time when they were listening and jamming to that music. Music is expression of art, and it really doesn't have a timeline if it's done well. So irregardless if you're a younger generation, older generation, or somewhere in between, I mean, just the appreciation of hard work, no matter where you stand, is always greatly appreciated, I'm sure. And so I can definitely feel him on that. And, Buster, he is definitely an energy kind of guy, right? I mean, honestly, he walks in a room and he's energy. So you're not going to sit there and do that and he not say anything. Because that's another thing. Buster always gives the impression that if he has something to say, he's going to say it. He's a very emotional individual in a good way as well. He did a speech for an award he got last year. And I think it was the BET 2023 Awards. And it was so impassioned and so thoughtful and so sincere. And he looks like someone to me for sure that I would want to sit down and I could talk to for hours about just how it was being in the business, the things that he's done, the things he's experienced, and how he's come to be. Because Buster, to me, it just seems like a very interesting individual in all of the good ways. And so, yeah, I hope that the crowd got it together. I mean, my goodness, to have to be told what to do every step of the way in life must be exhausting. It's because you know what you're doing. But maybe sometimes people just don't realize, oh, wow, we're not trying to give off that impression, but, you do give off that impression. And believe it or not, I don't think this is something that is isolated to this particular instance, because I've heard that from a few artists that have mentioned, yeah, things are really different now when it comes to that. And it's not different in a good way. Notice that a lot of things that people are representative of how they are now are never in a good way. It's always worse than what it used to be. So, I just would love for a moment if we could ever get back to a time where we don't feel like we need to get to a time machine to get out of here, go back to where it was much more peacefulness and much more happiness. Maybe one day we'll get to that. I hope so, because I tell you what, all the people who are pushing for the other, you really are missing out. And quite frankly, your life is not going to get any better because everyone else is miserable. Just saying. Yeah, just saying. So, of course, I would love to know your thoughts. Leave them down in the comment section below. And I think I do have another video that I'm going to be dropping. So make sure that you do have the notification bells on all so you don't miss it. I want to know what you have to say. And thank you so much for being here. And I think that'll, again, wrap it up for this video. So I will bid you adieu. Take care. Be blessed. And if you enjoy the content, please feel free to give me a like on the way out. I truly appreciate it. It does help my video, of course. And I would just like to know that, hey, we are all incapacito, and that doesn't even, this word doesn't even exist, but I can't even think of the word. Lord have mercy. This is what happens when it's 90 something degrees. I mean, your brain just goes to mush. But I just want to know that we're all just, enjoying, just having the conversation. So definitely want to know your thoughts. Leave it down. I got to go. Talk to you later. Bye.